over the place, not only of the Santa Muerte, but of Jesus Melperre, of Santeria, and of the devil. There was real flesh of animals. We think it's just animals. There was hearts and heads of pigs there with the flames, the circle of flames. And I was certainly glad watching that. That wasn't me who was having that fire on my back. So then I sat down with the Obispo.
Lo que yo logro y me siento orgulloso en mi persona y en la forma que yo supe avanzar y tener la fuerza divina de Dios, del diablo y la muerte, unir un católico, un diablero, un satánico y uno que cree mucho definitivamente en la niña blanca.
I had to fill up the car with gas, and the price is six. So this is a story about what they call a cathedral in Pachuca, Mexico, which we went to, and we thought it was just going to be a cathedral to what's called the Santa Muerte, this skeletal figure that's venerated in Mexico. But we also found it's a lot more than that. It was a cathedral to a lot of dark gods, dark spirits, and to Satan. So this is quite a crazy visit. And although I do a lot of coverage of drug cartels and gangsters and violence, I actually found this one of the more scary things to cover, because I find some of these dark spiritual practices pretty freaky, pretty scary. So we went to this cathedral. We were coming back from going to some villages around the state of Hidalgo in Mexico, checking out some of the villages where a lot of migrants go from. And I knew about this cathedral to Santa Muerte. I'd heard about this for a while, so I thought it was worth going to check out. And we didn't, we stopped off there, and it's in front of a regular church. It's interesting, on the outskirts of Pachuca. And then we got in, and first you see things to Santa Muerte itself. Now Santa Muerte is a practice, this kind of veneration of this female skeletal figure, which has been growing in Mexico over the last few decades. There's different theories about exactly where the Santa Muerte itself came from. Some say it's a reincarnation of an Aztec deity. Some say it's about Mexico's relationship with death. But it would whatever the explanation, it's definitely grown in Mexico and internationally in the recent decades. Now you get all kinds of people who are into the Santa Muerte, into the Holy Death. I've talked to a lot of people outside these different shrines, and some can be kind of regular people doing regular jobs, and they venerate the Santa Muerte. Some consider themselves also being Catholic, although the Catholic Church, it has a very clear line, the Catholic Church in Mexico, of saying we're against the Santa Muerte. We don't think you can, it's in line with Catholic tradition. It is heretic. But as well as regular people into, you do get people who live dark lifestyles, criminal lifestyles, who are also into it. You do see around places where you have narco sicarios, murderers, where they have shrines to the Santa Muerte, and they mix that with killing and torturing their victims. That's definitely exists and is there. I've also met policemen who are in devotees of the Santa Muerte, and say she saves them from bullets. And there are prostitute sex workers who are into the Santa Muerte. So there are all kinds of people. And itself, I don't find the Santa Muerte that freaky. But as we went into the temple, we found a lot darker symbols. We started finding things of the devil and of all kinds of different dark magic practices. So we've come here inside what we thought was going to be quite a small shrine to the Santa Muerte, but it has found this huge building with all of these images, thousands of images, statues all over the place, not only of the Santa Muerte, but of Jesus Melperre, of Santeria, and of the devil and of demons. It's a really huge place, probably quite scary to some people, but for some people who believe in this stuff, it's quite a huge cathedral of these kind of God's dark spirits. There's a lot of things happening around this cathedral, around this temple to the dark gods. There's as well as some places people selling images of these figures. There's also various people there who leave notes, leave desires to these different deities, spirits. And there's also people who bring in mariachis. There was, mariachis playing all the time while we were there. People will pay to bring in mariachis and celebrate these different things there. We also see in some places there was real flesh of animals. We think it's just animals. There was hearts and heads of pigs left in some places. So we found the head of this cathedral, who's a guy called Martin Oscar Palquestre, a 61-year-old head of market traders, who's also known as the Obispo Negro, the black bishop, or the dark bishop. So I said, what should I call you? He said, Obispo. So the Obispo was pretty open with us, pretty friendly, not aggressive at all, quite friendly about showing us around. And he asked if I wanted to have what they call a limpieza, a cleaning, a kind of spiritual cleansing. And I said, no, I didn't want that here. But there was a girl there, a woman there, and he did the cleansing on her, and you can see that here. This is what he showed, and it involved fire and bringing these flames around her, and this is a practice they do, and so yeah, he did this practice. You can see some quite crazy stuff there with the flames, the circle of flames, and I was certainly glad watching that. That wasn't me who was having that fire on my back. So then I sat down with the Obispo. He gave me this interview, and so first of all I asked him about the Santa Muerte itself, which was the first of these spirits that he got into. So I asked what his interpretation was of the Santa Muerte, what she represented, and this is what he told me. If you like these videos and you want to see more of them coming, it makes a real big difference if you subscribe to this, totally free, wherever you get your videos. We've got some really good guests coming on, some great stories. We can't do this without you. ¿La Santa Muerte es un espíritu también, una diosa también o algo así?
Mira, es una representación de Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo, Padre, Luz, Vida y la Muerte, del gran Creador, que voy diciendo, el gran Señor y el Hijo de Dios. Por eso es Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo, Luz, Vida y la Muerte. Donde hay una creencia muy fuerte, es una parte de la fuerza de la luz divina de Dios nuestro Señor. Como también la luz fuerte y poderosa de la oscuridad que viene siendo Luz, Ven.
So then I asked the Obispo about how he got into Satan, the devil, as well. And he told me this story about when he was working with the market traders. They got into some conflict with the governor, and he got accused of some pretty heavy crimes and sent to prison. And he told me that the devil appeared to him in prison, and then the devil, Satan, saved him from spending the rest of his life behind bars, so that he would promise to Satan that when he was released, he would build a temple to him.
Se presentó en una reja, en un separo, como le llaman ahí en la cárcel, y ahí fue donde empezó a hablar conmigo, me dio aliento, me dio todo, pero yo no sabía que era el diablo. Pensé que era una persona normal, que estaba un rey igual conmigo, ¿no? Pero después, cuando se arreglan las cosas, pues claramente habla y me dice que iba a solucionar todo. En ese momento, pues no creí. Ya cuando voy saliendo de ahí, le digo a un celador, dame permiso de despedirme de un gran amigo, ¿no? Que me apoyó. Abre la reja y no había nadie, no había un diablo pintado ahí. Entonces agarré y me dicen ahí que efectivamente en su momento dado me iban a meter ahí ya para volverme loco y me suicidé y me mataron. Entonces yo agarré y le dije, mira, cuando yo tenga las posibilidades, tú te voy a poner un palacio muy grande, muy bonito, muy fuerte.
So then I asked the Obispo about really what this devil means, questions of good and evil, and it was quite strange answers, quite confusing answers to me to try and understand the beliefs. But one thing he said is that he said that he's still a Catholic and still believes in La Virgen de Guadalupe, the Virgin of Guadalupe, this apparition of the Virgin Mary that's really big in Mexico, and that in his temple that you have symbols there suddenly for Jesus and the Virgin of Guadalupe and Virgin Mary, but also mixed with satanic things. And he said it's fine, you can have different people of Satanists, people of Santa Muerte, and Catholics and people of Guadalupe, and they can all be in his temple together. And there's some quite difficult things to understand, but this is some of the stuff that he was saying.
Lo que yo logro, y me siento orgulloso en mi persona y en la forma que yo supe avanzar y tener la fuerza divina de Dios, del diablo y la muerte, unir un católico, un diablero, un satánico y uno que cree mucho definitivamente en la niña blanca. Júntalos y siéntalos es muy difícil. No puedes meterlos, pero fue la fuerza y todo que efectivamente se logró y se sigue llevando, porque aquí puedes preguntar a una persona cuándo entré y te va a decir, sabes que soy católico, pero respeto y quiero al patrón. Ya no hay una línea de que te puedan decir que los católicos te van a atacar y todo, ¿no?
Bueno, lo que nos enseña en las escuelas es como existe el bueno y el malo, ¿no? Y el Dios representa el bueno y el diablo representa el malo. Pero tú piensas que eso no es cierto, tienes otra perspectiva de eso.
Bueno, para mí te voy a decir una sola cosa, ahorita eres bueno y te sales si eres malo.
Sí.
Porque traes definitivamente el pecado mortal, traes
Sí.
la sangre del diablo.
Sí.
El espíritu pues es de la muerte y tu
Sí.
carne poderosa y nacimiento es de Dios nuestro Señor.
Sí.
Es como tú podrías decir, es que yo no creo en el diablo, ni lo conozco.
Sí.
Sería una ignorancia decir eso. Para mí, mi respeto
Sí.
de la gente.
Sí, sí.
¿Por qué? Porque efectivamente tú tienes el diablo, una esencia de él, por eso es malo o bueno. O te inclinas a ti mismo y te amas si te quieres y tú vas a seguir adelante, no estás perjudicando una cosa u otra. Yo te podría decir con respeto, tú puedes venir aquí y estás adorando al diablo y ¿cómo sabes que estás adorando a Dios? ¿Cómo puedes ir a una iglesia y estás adorando al diablo? Porque es uno solo.
Then I did ask him about, he doesn't think this is related to the violence in Mexico, that narcos, have these satanic symbols, have these dark symbols, and it justifies their use of violence, was connected to that. That's what I asked him, and this is what his reply was. Pienso que usa mucho estos, pues los narcos, los sicarios, ellos lo usan para justificar un poco qué hacen.
Mira, aquí hay algo que no concuerda o efectivamente la gente a lo mejor no lo entiende. Pero efectivamente tú puedes entrar a otro lado, vas a encontrar a San Judas Tadeo, vas a encontrar a San Judas Tadeo, vas a encontrar a la Virgen de Guadalupe, digamos, es algo que recriminan y atacan mucho a la Santa Muerte, que ese tipo de gente los protege y todo, pues la Virgen de Guadalupe también protege. Ahora sí somos hijos efectivamente del gran creador. Tú puedes tener una imagen, digamos, del niño de Atoche, te dedicas a un negocio chueco, te agarran y ves la imagen que dices. El niño de Atocha se protege, digamos, en otro país, digamos, de los narcos, ¿no? Donde el niño de Atocha protegía al más fuerte y más poderoso narco, ¿no? Que siempre tiene el niño de Atocha, digamos, es una creencia que siempre buscan la manera de atacar definitivamente y respeto, ¿no? De la gente que lo dice, de que la gente que se dedica a algo malo tiene a la Santa Muerte, como puede tener también efectivamente a San Judas Tadeo, al niño de Atocha, a la Virgen de Guadalupe. Eso efectivamente son ataques en una forma y son buenos los ataques que hacen y señalan a un santo.
So the Obispo, Oscar Pelcastre, also had this other figure in the cathedral, which he calls the Angelito Negro, the dark angel. This particular symbol, which is also spreading around Mexico, and he's saying this is the thing that he himself conjured up or created, and has like a copyright and authorship on this particular symbol. And then he finished by saying that he believed the devil, Satan, has a particularly special place in Mexico, a special relationship with Mexico. These were his words.
Que en México es la raíz del diablo, de la muerte, ¿no? Y de Dios. ¿Cómo es posible que si traes la raíz de nuestras raíces más importantes, se ha atacado la muerte, ¿no? Como usted me decía. A esas personas llegaron, los detienen y entran y encuentran un altar de la Santa Muerte. Y todos atacan a la Santa Muerte. Llegan a Tepito, abren, deshacen, entran y encuentran un diablito y le echan la culpa al diablo, al angelito, que por eso hay una crisis muy fuerte de delincuencia, de ataques y todo. No es eso, es otro que se les fue las manos y control, de que tiene que haber lo bueno y lo malo, que no supieron cómo ni cuándo. Eso ya es secundario en la forma que se trabaja todo eso, ¿eh?
So this was what was said, and this is what we found in this cathedral to the Santa Muerte, which is also a cathedral to the Santa Muerte and to Satan. And they also have all kinds of sections that he's developing more about voodoo and Santeria and all kinds of things. So now, I was quite freaked out by some of the things I saw. I find this difficult to take in. I want to talk to different people and respect their beliefs. But I do think it's not a game. And I do think there is a truth to spirituality. I do believe in God, and so I found this troubling. I found this kind of disturbing. But yeah, we went in. This is the report we found, and then when we drove back to Mexico City, we had a last little freaky moment there as well to conclude this trip. We just got back to Mexico City from Pachuca, a little bit freaked out about what we saw. Had to fill up the car with gas, and the price is six. Just handing in the rental car and looking at the mileage from the trip, and a bit freaky. I don't know what the mathematical chance of this is. It is 666 5.1. Being a narco journalist is a lot of blood and sweat and beers. So if you want to keep these videos coming, then you can support this for completely free by subscribing on whatever platform you're watching this on, and you can go to www.crashoutmedia.com, where you're going to see all kinds of news and analysis and reports and be the best informed in the room about the drug war. And if you want to support this, then you can for just $5 a month, the price of a cup of coffee.